Hi, Jason. This is the second video of June 10th. I'm going to go more over the relative minor, relative majors and minors, which are, how each key signature has a major key and a minor key that goes with it. A little bit about how to look at songs and try to tell whether it's in the major or the minor key. And also I'm going to talk about this scale, harmonic minor versus the natural minor. And then if there's time, we'll listen to a couple bits of music, including a recording of the Domingos Barros that you sent me. Okay, so let me first say what the natural minor and the harmonic minor is. Of course, I'm sending you both these pages. Okay, natural minor is the scale that we went over before, right? It's just if you start on La, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la. Natural minor, right? Called natural minor because it just, that's like the natural minor scale that you get naturally by just starting on the sixth note, the la, and going and singing from la to la. And, some people do the solfege differently. They choose to go do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, te, do, te, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. Okay, that's another way to sing the natural minor on solfege. Okay, so that's the deal. Natural minor is just when there's a half step in between the notes 2 and 3 of the scale and the notes 5 and 6. So, there's different kinds of minor scales. The harmonic minor scale is a variation off of natural minor. What you do is you raise the 7th degree of the scale by a half step. Oh, sorry about my messages happening there. Okay, so, in fact, I should take off that. Okay, anyway, so harmonic minor is when you raise the 7th degree of the scale. And this goes with something I've been talking about a couple times, is that when we're looking at A minor, right? This is an A minor scale, A harmonic minor. I have mentioned before that if you raise the tone right under the note that we're in a minor key of, right, it emphasizes it. And that's what this is. Harmonic minor emphasizes the root note, right? The note of the scale that we're in. So here's what it sounds like. La, ti, do, re, mi, fa, si, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la. All right, so we have that raised so becomes C. Or again, just to say that we have the other way of doing it of starting on do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. I prefer la minor. I prefer starting on la, but that's just me. Anyway, so that's the harmonic minor scale, and we'll see that it happens quite a bit. Raising the note that's right underneath the bass note of what key you're in, right? This is an example, you would probably get this on your, this is a pretty clear example of A minor. Starts on A, ends on A, and we have some G sharps, right? That's that raised 7th degree of the scale. Another term for this is called the leading tone. It is the raised leading tone. Leading tone meaning it leads to the 1, if you will. If you're counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. We often refer to scales in numbers, right? So yeah, the raised leading tone is what this is. And, I was talking about it in our stuff from the other day, right, on this thing that you were doing, the Scottish Legend, right? Here's this C sharp, right? This is D minor, and we have a C sharp emphasizing the D. This is a raised leading tone in the key of D minor. Okay, so that is actually, probably that's the main new theory concept of the week, is harmonic minor. You raise the 7th degree of the scale, of the minor scale. Okay, and so for the next bit of homework, I'll send you this page. You could also do it on the same page that you did the natural minor scale, right? This is the same page as before. You wrote the natural minor scale out that goes with each major key signature. And next, I'd like you to write the harmonic minor scale. And I did two examples that we've looked at a couple times, right? Here, there's no sharps or flats. So this is the key of C major. And the relative natural minor is A minor. So here that is. But to make it harmonic minor, I go ahead and write the scale, but I put a sharp sign in front of the G. I raise the 7th degree of the scale by a half step. La, ti, do, re, mi, fa, si, la. Okay, another example here. This is F major. The relative minor is D. So that would be the natural minor, but I have raised the 7th degree of the scale. I've raised the leading tone by a half step by placing a sharp sign in front of it. La, ti, do, re, mi, fa, si, la. All right? So do that with the rest of these. Write out the harmonic minor scale. Let's see. Okay, now just one. Keep in mind, so you're not always going to be drawing a sharp in front of the note to raise it by a half step. Okay, there are some notes, there are some key signatures where the 7th degree of the scale might be a flat note, right? You got to pay attention to the key signature for this. So if the 7th degree of the scale is a flat note, you're going to draw a natural sign in front of it to make it, to raise it by a half step. Okay, and I don't know if we've, I don't know, hopefully you've seen this. That's a natural sign. Okay, so I haven't scanned this page yet, so that'll be on the page. That's a natural sign. Okay, so sometimes you're going to write a natural sign instead of a sharp sign. All right, so that's a bit of homework, writing out the harmonic minor version of these scales. Oh boy, man, whenever I do your videos, I somehow become the most popular person in the world and get a bunch of messages. It's kind of funny. Anyway, so do the same exercises for these. I can't know if you're doing it, but I think it's a good idea to conduct and sing through these. Go ahead and write in the solfege, write in the counts, right? It all just gets you more fluent at music. Let's talk about 3/8 a little bit. This is just like 3/4 pretty much, but we're counting 3/8 notes, right? So this is like 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, and 3, right? It's very similar concept to 3/4, but the beat is the 8th note, right? Because that's kind of what we're looking at here. There's 3 counts per measure, right? And the 8th means there's 3/8 notes per measure. Okay, so that's how you're going to count this out. And then again, with each example, please tell me if you think it's in the major key or the relative minor that goes with it. Now, most of these are just going to be, no sharps or flats, which is either C major or A minor. And again, as we know, there's, I don't know if I can find a good example, but music can change, as you talked about in your question, right? Music can change whether it sounds major or minor, or whether it looks major or minor. It changes throughout. But what you're really looking at is the beginning, the end, and maybe like what a bulk of the piece looks like it's in, and if there's any accidentals that indicate, a raised leading tone in the minor key, use of the harmonic minor scale. All right, let's just do a little bit of listening. So I'm going to send you these links. You've probably, I don't know, maybe you've listened to this, but here's the song, one of the songs that you've sent me the score with. So that little thing at the beginning, right? This little part that's going da 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 da. Do ti re do la ti do ti la do ti re do la ti do ti. So that's kind of minor-ish, right? Because it's going la ti do ti la, right? That's kind of screaming out minor. So it starts off sounding sort of minor, but then it quickly starts to sound more major. Okay, still kind of minor. And now, at this point, it's sounding more like a major key. And this is totally major. Okay. So, I mean, that's one thing I'd like you to do. It's hard. We can't really do it together. But listen to this recording. And again, I'm going to send it to you. And just this isn't really something you can turn in. But just listen to it and think about whether you think it sounds major or minor, and see if you can hear when it switches. If you do want some kind of check for this, if you want, you can write notes about what time in the song and be like, I think it switches to minor here, and I'll totally listen through and, tell you if you're right, if you want. Otherwise, just, listen to it and think about it. Here's another piece that goes through very clear major and minor phases. This is a piano piece by Chopin. And again, I'm including this link when I send these to you. Right, so think about if this sounds major or minor. I think I'll try to not give it away. But anyway, let's look at, there's parts. This has a different sound, right? Does this sound major or minor? Okay. So I'll let you listen to this piece by yourself. I love this. I love playing it. It's so beautiful. Okay. So that's a little bit about major and minor. Let me take a look at one more score, and let's just look at... I haven't even listened to this one. This is just the first page of that full score that you sent me. But let's take a look at this and figure out if this first page seems to be major or minor. Oh, yes, and you texted me. Shoot, I didn't write it down. I think you told me the requinta is an E-flat clarinet. That totally makes sense, and, honestly, I should have known that. It's right above the clarinets. Hello! So awesome. Thank you so much. Trompa, alto, horn. So that's awesome. So alto horn and E-flat clarinet, right? Those are both E-flat instruments, meaning they are written a step and a half below the concert pitch, right? So this is B-flat major, if we are indeed in a major key. And so a step and a half below B-flat major is G. Here we are written in the key signature for G major. So that checks out. So let's see. So when I'm trying to figure out if we're in the major or minor key, it's good to look at the melody, and it's also nice to look at concert pitch instruments for me. we're in B flat. I'm going to look at the trombones because they're concert pitch, right? They're written in the key that we're actually in. All right, so check it out. We have do, so, do, mi, do, mi, so. What is that screaming out to you? Do, so, do, mi, do, mi, so. This is a 1 chord, right? Do, re, mi, fa, so, do, mi, do. So this right here is like, oh, this piece is in major. This is in B flat major. This is not G minor, right? I'm not seeing any G's. Yeah. And then we have so, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la, so, do. So, yeah, this is, hugely major. Let's look at the other parts. Do, so, do, mi. Right, it's the same thing. 1 chord, totally major. Up here, remember, we're looking at a different key here. So this is in the key of G. So, la, ti, do, mi, so. Right? This is, again, outlining a 1 chord. Do, mi, so. So all that is like, okay, hello, this is totally, I don't even have to listen to this. I know that this is major key. And then, this little, da-da-da-da, like we have a little like, a stop note here, and it all happens on do. It's on a 1 chord. So that tells me that this piece is very strongly, at least for this first page, in B flat major, not in the relative minor of G minor. Okay, so that's about it for the new theory concepts this week. And in the next video, I'll do a dictation, of course. And then I'll talk a little more about some rehearsal techniques, how to make the band sound better. Okay, see you next video.